I had questions.
Somebody needs to get this man some answers.
Master, why this fortress? It looks like it's just a storehouse.
It is. And that's why we're here. These barbarians. They seem like they're good people. They embrace each other like they were all kin. But that is all a lie. When night falls, they stab each other with their knives. If there are wolves among them, should we not set them free?
Now I had new questions. Ones that were much harder to answer.
I would appreciate it if they would answer some of this guy's questions, because I swear 90% of his dialogue has been, I have questions. And now he's got new questions and no new answers. Maybe he's wondering if Apollyon likes him. He's gonna go back to Stone. Bro, she put her arm on my shoulder. What does it mean? And Stone is obviously gonna tell him that that means, dude, Apollyon, she likes you, bro. You gotta try and get that. It's like, I don't know, man. She's kind of, I don't know. I don't think Apollyon's the type. Shit. but yeah. Anyway, we are at the final mission for the Knights campaign. The game is broken into 3 separate story modes for the Knights, the Vikings, and the Samurai. And the Knights is pretty good. If I had to grade them on which ones are better than the others, I would say that the Knights is number 2, the Samurai is the best, but the Viking the Viking story that we're gonna have to do next is the weakest from a story standpoint, but the strongest from an action movie standpoint. And that's the weird dichotomy that For Honor has drawn with its story mode from the beginning, is that it does have this very serious undertone to it, and motorcycles. It does have, the game, it takes itself seriously, it jokes a little bit as well, but it knows what it is at the end of the day. And the Knights campaign is a nice balance of that. The Samurai's campaign is the perfect balance, but the Vikings, they just go straight up. How ridiculous can we make the set pieces, and how crazy can we get it? And I suppose that'll be the topic that we talk about when the time comes. I won't spoil any of the shenanigans that go on in the Viking campaign, but just know and trust me when I say the shenanigans get turned up to a whole new level. Because even to a degree, with the Knights, it's all about set pieces with games and movies, right? Because this right now, I don't know anything about medieval warfare, but this looks really extravagant. Somebody please, if you know anything about medieval history, tell me if it was practical for them to make a giant battering ram with a fucking eagle face as the ram. And that in itself is a little bit ridiculous. Why not use a ram's head? Maybe that's just too on the nose. And so the guys that were making the ram, it's like, so what should we put as the head to the battering ram? And somebody suggested, oh, let's put a ram's head. And nah, that's too on the nose. Everyone's expecting us to put a ram's head as the ram for the battering ram. So instead, let's put an eagle. I don't know. Would they even be thinking about that in the Viking days, in the medieval era? I don't know. but my point is, the set pieces for the Vikings are completely out of control. And I switched up one of my story mode perks for one that gives me increased health when I execute people. So the struggle bus, we're not riding on it today. Because this is a pretty difficult mission. It's long. It's an escort mission, and those are always miserable. So putting on something that gives me a little bit of an extra edge is nice. No, that was epic. So yeah, Ooh, stop it. So yeah, well, okay, he seems to be stuck. Ouch! All right, this is a bit of a problem here. I'm fucking up, but this extra health is making it so much more bearable, and I may never take off this perk. I don't know what is wrong with me for wanting to have it, wanting to make things more difficult by not including it, but I feel like I'm going to leave it on forever. I'll decide by the next episode. But on that note, how have you guys been enjoying it? I'm always curious to hear feedback. You know, did you like it? What did you like? What didn't you like? Do you have any topics that you would like me to talk about? Because I pick a topic beforehand. I usually write down a couple of talking points for it. Is there anything specifically that you would want me to talk about? It doesn't have to be gaming related, as you know. Or as you may or may not know, rather. I'll talk about anything. I'll talk about women. I'll talk about sex. I do not care. You know. And on that note, since we talked about sex, is Apollyon getting laid? That's the real question. Is the whole story of For Honor, is she doing all the evil stuff that she's doing because she didn't get laid one time? And she was like, you know what? That's not happening. And now she's just really upset because she didn't get some dick. But no, that's obviously not the real question for the day. This guy is going ham. But not ham enough for the Warden. So yeah, you know, drop a like and a comment. Go down to the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about the episode today. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Give me the feedback. Blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, what was I going to say? I suppose on the topic of today, one thing that... Oh, please don't die. Please. Hold on. Whew, okay. So, the topic that I've been thinking about for today is gaming rhetoric. It's kind of like political rhetoric, how whenever politicians are going around campaigning or whatever, they use a certain language to describe things. They have a way of speaking. And for example, we are going to make America great again. Change, be the change you want to see. Well, no, that was Gandhi. That wasn't Obama. But you get the point, though, right? There's a certain language that you use when talking about politics, and there's a certain language you use when talking on the forums about games, or when gaming news outlets talk about games. They echo the language that is being used by the communities, right? So, in the context of For Honor, at the beginning of the game, there was a point in time when the rate at which you gained the multiplayer currency was a bit slow. Now, does that, in the grand scheme of things, does that matter? Not really. This is a buy-to-play game. You buy it, you never have to pay another cent for it. There you go. So it doesn't necessarily matter that the resource generation was a bit slow. It's just kind of a nuisance, right? So a guy comes around and he does the math. And he finds out that if you are playing at a consistent rate every single day, that it will take you something to the effect of 700 days or whatever to unlock everything in For Honor. If you're a completionist gamer and you want to unlock every ornament, every tiny bit of customization that is available for the game, it will take you, like let's just say a year. Maybe, let's say 2 years, just to make it more dramatic. And there we go. We finished the first phase. I think we get a cutscene now. We have to activate the eagle. Boom. It's pecking its way through the door. And now we get a cutscene. Boom. Look up there. Oh, I see. Ah. There. Ah. understand that I'm making these grunting sound effects, but the actual dialogue in this cutscene was a bunch of grunting. So go fuck yourself. So yeah, there was a whole lot of talk about the game being designed to sort of sink and encourage you to spend money, and those are always kind of weird concepts, but I sort of got where they were coming from with it. But at the shit, ooh, that's fancy. I sort of got where they were where people were coming from with the complaints, but the language surrounding it became a little bit gross and exaggerated, right? The same with the same thing happens in political rhetoric, right? You got Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton, where all of a sudden, you know, you got the man screaming "lock her up" and all sorts of other stuff. I don't even remember what half of the shit was about. Man, better stop doing that. The eagle has broken the door. The eagle has landed. Oof. Ugh. And then that same stuff happens in games, but that language is very ugly and it feels dishonest, right?
On your feet.
And I don't think it helps anybody. And this isn't. I'm not trying to prove anything by saying this. I'm not trying to stop people from using rhetoric. I guess I'm just venting a little bit. I get irritated. I get salty when I read this game is dead posts and just certain things make me salty, and I have a reaction to it, which is no doubt what people are trying to do when they make a post that says, "Oh my God, For Honor only has 2,000 people playing it now. The game is completely dead. Ubisoft has failed." Similar to how I am failing at killing this raider. You know, I get triggered by stuff. I gotta stop that. And this guy is not falling for the shoulder bash anymore. The days of cheesing enemies to death with that are long gone, apparently. So we've got to be a lot smarter about how we approach this. He's countering guard. Shit. How far back do we have to go? Alright, this isn't so bad. We gotta kill this guy again. But, it's not that bad. Skip. Okay, we're back. So yeah, I guess I'm just venting a little bit because a game that I'm interested in, Final Fantasy 14, is coming out with an expansion pack pretty soon, and there's a whole bunch of speculation going on surrounding that game, and you know, which classes are getting the right type of overhaul, which characters are getting underpowered, and all that kind of stuff. And I always get kind of tired of hearing people complain about oh, my favorite class has been nerfed to shit. It's completely useless now. and it just triggers me so hard. Because as much as I talk about ridiculous things, there was one time, some of you might not know this, but I talked about pigeons flirting with other pigeons. What I'm getting at is I'm a fucking maniac, right? But I'm a pretty rational maniac as far as those things go. And whenever I see somebody or a group of people collectively engaging in a conversation that is arguably irrational, I get a little bit triggered by it. And we do have some observables, and we missed a couple, so now is as good a time as any to take a little pause and watch them. So let's do that.
We could have broken open that gate with a far smaller ram. But that would have taken time. Time that the Vikings would have used to reinforce. The fortress of Sverngard was home to many of the wealthiest Viking clans. The merchant trades always produced such people. Now they would have to fight for their food.
Alright, there we go. This is nice little tidbits about the environment. It helps establish the world. So yeah, I get triggered by a lot of different things, and one of the things that I get triggered by are people complaining without any rationale, and to a very large degree, I am complaining in this moment without any rationality because it's just something that triggers me. So I'm complaining about people complaining. Right? Yeah, I'm complaining about people complaining. So I've inceptioned myself, and I feel bad for doing that. But what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? We're gonna kill this Valkyrie. That's what we're gonna do. She was out of range for that guard break. Very unfortunate. But she is in range for the shoulder bash mix-up. Girl, you better stop slouching off. Stop. Oh, thank goodness. Alright. It's time for part 2 of the boss fight. Now, if I'm being perfectly honest, this is the point in the campaign where you fully accept shenanigans. This is when you forget that the immersion gets lost, and you fully accept and remember that this is a video game. Because right now, fuck, I don't even know how to do this. All right, we gotta kill these wolves. There we go. Yeah, if I block the wolf, then I can just smack it. Ugh, I didn't block it that time. Cause it. Oh my god. But yeah, this is the point when you realize that For Honor is a video game just like every other video game, and it's filled with dumbass levels like this, where they just made it to break up the monotony. It's totally fun and it's totally cool. But at the same time, this is like the dumbest shit that I've ever fucking played. Like it's silly. They're killing me really good. There you go. There we go. Whoops.
Your people do not need to suffer.
There's one more wolf that I should totally deal with, but I've got my power up active right now, so I'm gonna. Yeah, we gotta deal with that wolf. Wait a minute. All right. Got it. I'm scared. Oh, he's calling more. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Because that's just a mechanic that they obviously threw in to make it fun and make it memorable. But at the end of the day, whenever games do stuff like that, it's dumb. But I can appreciate it. I can appreciate it. But on that note, though, I don't remember if I asked already, but what are some things that trigger you? You know, some things that people say and do on the forums that just make your blood boil a little bit. And how do you put up with it? How do you temper your frustrations? Because me, I have a hard time dealing with it because I like reading the forums as much as I simultaneously hate the nonsense that people be talking sometimes. I eat it up, and I love fueling myself with the shenanigans and arguments. Oh, online arguments are the best.
I was on the wrong side.
So, going back to the No, you don't. Going back to the talk about the wolves being a moment of just pure shenanigans in For Honor in the campaign, it sort of breaks the tone of seriousness. They juxtapose that pretty nicely with that cutscene right there, where you feel a lot of emotion in that. It's a heavy scene. There's not a lot of talking in it, but it conveys the weight of what's really going on, and it gives you this sense of dread with everything you're doing, which is what you need. You need to have stakes in a game, not the kind that you put A1 on, but you need, you know, the other kind of stake. What is he? Oh, tried to grab me. But you need to feel like there's a reason for what you're doing, that it's not just some bullshit where it doesn't matter at all. And that cutscene makes it fit. Damn, he is not happy. Neither am I. Revenge. Rawr. I'm angry now. But that cutscene right there, it gives you this feeling that, okay, there's a weight to it. The characters that are living in this universe, they feel something, and I'm gonna try and feel something as well. And we're gonna kill him with a... Never mind. We're gonna execute him. Oh, we can't. Because there's a cutscene.
You fought well.
To hell with you!
Mercy. Why are we here? I think you know.
Famine. This place houses their seed grain. There will be no new harvest. By winter, they will be killing each other over what little food is left.
I took an oath to fight for peace. So did you. All of you.
Hey. This food. Why are we not burning it all?
What do you imagine the clans would do if we burned it all?
They'd starve. Die.
They would unite. But leave them scraps. Just enough for 2, maybe 3 clans. They will fight each other over what remains. The wolves among them will rise. We're not here to kill them. We are here to teach them who they are. To set them free. Time to go home.
I would love it if he gave that back to the Warden. Just as soon as he throws it away, it's like, hey, is this yours, bro? It's like, fuck, I thought I threw that farther. All right, but yeah, there's a nice juxtaposition of that action movie stuff that we talked about, and also a slightly more serious undertone to everything, and an emotional impact that I definitely felt when I beat the entire game. I felt the emotional impact at the end of the Samurai campaign. It was a really beautifully done cutscene that resonates to a very large degree with me and the way the world is and blah blah blah, etc., yada yada, a whole bunch of stuff that I shouldn't be talking about because this is just a gaming channel, right? Who cares? I had fun. This was the Knights campaign again. If you enjoyed it, be sure to let me know in the comments. We will start up the Viking campaign soon. Maybe not next week, but soon. If not next week, then the week after that. But don't worry, there will be more For Honor coming. So, as always, thank you for watching iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy, and I'll see you next time.